Today we have a 15-minute sweat session that is going to keep you moving and grooving for a full 15 minutes. It's going to burn a ton of calories, it's knee joint friendly, and it's a total body workout. Let's get it. Hi, I'm Clinton and welcome to another Empower Fit workout where today we are doing a sweat session. These sweat sessions are great for not only burning a ton of calories, but they build your aerobic engine. Right, so what does that actually mean? How's that actually going to impact on you? Well, listen, think of any activities that you might do that might be a little bit longer in duration, as in they beyond 4 or 5 minutes and beyond. It's going to develop your ability to do that faster for longer. So whether it's playing with the kids, whether it's playing sport, whatever it is, you're going to be able to go faster for longer in those medium to long-term activities. And you'll also recover better. These are the sessions for it. Now, in saying that, what you're going to need is an object, a chair, a bench, something that you can step up onto. You're going to need a set of dumbbells. And the way the workout will roll is that we're going to have 3 rounds and we're going to have 5 exercises. And so we're going to work on each of these 5 exercises for 45 seconds with zero recovery in between. We're going immediately from one into the next. And we're going to rotate through the 5 of those, and at the end of the 5, we're going to have a 45-second rest. And then we'll do, like I say, a second, a third round, and we are done. So a first, a second, and a third round with 45 seconds on the 5 different exercises. So with that in mind, get yourself set up. Box, bench, doesn't matter. Dumbbells, meet me back here in a couple of minutes, and let's rip into it. First exercise is our alternating dumbbell hang snatch. Right, so the key from here, straight back, drive up, overhead, changing those hands as the dumbbell comes down. Keep looking after the back by pulling down the ribs overhead and keeping it straight as the dumbbells at the bottom there just about to drive up. Now, as something I want to really talk about with our sweat sessions, you need to ensure that you're at a pace or going at an intensity that you can maintain for the full 3 rounds. If you're not, as much as it's tempting to get after it, I'm going to get you to fight that temptation and pick a sustainable pace. All right, now we're straight into our Russian step-ups. A Russian step-up. Foot up, drive up tall. Keep that foot there, drive up. Now, a couple of things. If you need to anchor yourself against something, do that, that's fine. Because all I want you doing is really concentrating on engaging the correct musculature. So opening up the hips at the top, keeping that knee straight, drive it up. Now, if this is too comfortable and too easy, you can hold on to a dumbbell. That's entirely okay. All right, now we're getting into our push-ups with toe tap. So from here, push up, reach up, touch that toe, back to the plank. Push up, other side. Again, you control the pace. You control the pace for yourself. If you're finding, hey, the push-ups are a bit hard, go off the knees. Then up onto the toes during your toe tap. If you're okay with push-ups off the feet, that's fine. And now we are back into our step-ups again. So other side, drive up high, leave that foot up. Now you may notice, like most of us in this group, one side may do this a bit easier than the other side. For me personally, this is what you'll see is often a bit of a seesaw effect. If you've got a good left leg, it generally means you may be compensating and have a bad left shoulder. Now for me, my left leg's doing this relatively easy, but I'm holding it back because I'm only going to go as strong as my non-dominant side. All right, so now we're coming up to, we've done our Russian step-ups. The last piece is going to be our reverse rows. So with our reverse rows, what I want you doing, dumbbells out, hinge forward, row in, go for 3 repetitions, and then hinge back up. Down, 3, 2, and 1, come back up. So we're trying to avoid cooking the lower back as much as possible. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. That little 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we have 45 seconds rest. But that principle of just going down for 3, if you feel your dumbbells are a little bit too light and you're doing that relatively easy, that's cool. What I'll get you doing there instead is just go for a set of 5 before coming up rather than a set of 3. All right, so catch your breath. We've 1 round in, 2 to go. So we're gonna pick it up where we left off. So we're gonna go back to our alternating snatches. Straight back, same pace. Let's try and keep it nice and steady. Swap the hands over, use the hips. So the big piece to increase the speed, you can start to reduce the time in which it's overhead. And if you're quick with your transitions, you can virtually catch the dumbbell, release and catch. But it just depends on how you're tracking. Keep using your hips. We're into our step-ups next. All right, back to these step-ups. Drive, knee up. Leave the foot on the box. Depending on your knee range, if you've got the flexibility, try and get the knee over the hip. Squeeze through the butt and the hamstring. Drive that hip up and forward. Again, you can regulate the pace. If you're doing it easy, you can cycle through a little bit faster. Now, as you're doing this one, pay attention to what your foot is doing. We want if I was looking at your front on as you're stepping up, that line of the thigh has to point to where my toe is. Avoid it coming in. All right, we're back to our push-ups, into our toe taps. So again, pace yourself accordingly. This isn't a muscle stamina session, so we don't want the push-ups to be a limiter. We want to be a little bit short of breath. It's one of those ones where if we were having a conversation, we could get a sentence or 2 out, but then we're going to want to stop just to catch our breath. Again, if you need to go off the knees, then up onto those toes. The other thing you can do, all right, step up on the other side. The other thing that you can do on those are push-ups to toe taps, because we don't want it to be the push-up that's slowing you down. You can do 1 push-up for alternating toe taps, left and right. That'll just increase the time in between the push-ups without necessarily fatiguing you excessively more for those push-ups. In fact, giving you a little bit more recovery time. So you're just going to be using more of that 45 seconds constructively. Right, again, have a look at your thigh as you're coming up. Make sure it's pointing to where your toe is facing. All right, now we're into our reverse rows again. So with these ones, hinge forward, straight back, punch out the reps. Depending on how heavy a dumbbell, if it's challenging for you, we don't want the lower back stopping you. Leave it at sets of 3. You may even need to drop it back to 1. That'll be fine. Even at 1, you're going to be moving. At 3, that's a bit of a sweet spot. That's what we're aiming for. But you may even need to go to 5. Depends on where those dumbbells are at. And relax down. All right, 2 rounds done. Okay, so well done. 1 more round. Snatches, step ups, push ups to toe taps, step ups, and rows. Again, avoid the temptation of going after it too much. But I generally say, adjust your pace at a round level. So if you finish the first round and you're coming back saying, I felt like I had a bit in the tank, I could back it up, even match it or beat it, go faster. If you're sitting there and saying, no, I'm barely hanging in there, pace that workout. Try and maintain that pace. All right, here we go. Last round. So we're just gonna keep moving as steady as possible. Keep thinking about the technique. We want technical proficiency. So what does that mean? So I need to stress, something I want you thinking about is, well, do we go for perfect technique or do we go for speed? Now, in the younger days, I'd be saying, hey, we need to go for both. Push yourself at a level in which your technique is just holding together. Now, as the injuries start to occur, if you're working through a series of movements that aren't problematic for you, yeah, push it. Work at an intensity that you know you're just going to barely be able to hang in there at. Otherwise, if you're working through movements like this that you're nursing injuries around, think about mechanics. Dial that pace back. Work on that mind-muscle connection. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about the butt, trying to work the hamstring, trying to load up as much through that posterior chain as possible. All right, I went blank for a sec. Push-ups. All right, so as I was saying last round, if the push-ups are a limiter, do 2 toe taps. If push-ups for you aren't a limiter, go for 1 tap, straight back down. Otherwise, you can go off the knees with 1 toe tap. You can go off the knees with 2 toe taps. The choices are yours. The objective is just to keep moving. That's all we want. All right, and we're back to our last lot of Russian step-ups. Drive through the heel, powerful drive, thigh tracking with the toe, squeeze through the butt. Like I say, this hand is just here. If you've got something to hold on to, that's cool. It's just there. While you may have that ability to do it without, I just want you having something there so that you're not having to concentrate immensely on the balance so much as making that connection with what muscle you need to be feeling here. So yeah, there's going to be a bit of quad. That's good, especially the inside of the quad, but otherwise butt. All right, last lot of rows and we are done. Again, adjust it relative to yourself. Quick singles may be where you need to be. Doubles, you may find, hey, the lower back isn't blowing out. The back and the shoulders, upper back and the shoulders aren't blowing out. If that be the case, you may want to go for triples. Triples is ideally where we're trying to get with the session, but I'll leave that up to you. You may find, hey, I can do more than 3 and hold that tempo. And we are done, people. Well done. All right, so that was a rapid fire 13 minutes. Heart rate's up, at an aerobic pace so that crossing the line here, you should feel like, hey, if I had to, I could do another round with my 45-second recovery. If you didn't, that may mean, hey, you didn't go hard enough. Or if you're crossing the line saying, nah, I couldn't do another round, you possibly went a little bit too hard. But from that end, hit your cool down, stretch it out, and as always, we'll see you back here later on in the week for the next installment.